Listen, this is Phil of the Sharks, Steve Thompson of the Sharks, my co-coach, longtime buddy of mine, good friend, longtime Sharky. Tomo, tell us about how you came to America, first of all, to play footy.
First off, I was just, I think I was 19, it might have been I was back in 2001, so maybe I was 20, 21. A buddy of mine came over, Dave Cunliffe, playing the year before. Come back, told me how good the lads were, how good of a time he had. I was in trade school, had the summer off, so decided, whatever, we'll just go and have fun, and then the rest history.
So listen, you've been here now for about 8 years. You're now a permanent resident of the United States, which is great for some of us. Why don't you talk about the game itself, the game of rugby league in America, from the time when you came here to the time it is now?
It's always been an interesting scenario where you've had a lot of raw athletic talent that can play a game. I mean, generally American sports are hand-eye coordination, hockey with the stick and the puck, basketball obviously, and then football, catch, run, hit people. So you've always had the raw athletic ability to achieve the game of rugby. It's really a simple game. And then you add in the foreigners that come over, some good ones, unlike myself. But there's a recipe there for something real big, and you just need to light that fuse.
Right. So what do you think about the standard game today?
The standard game today compared to back when I first started. I mean, back when I first started, there was probably 2 teams that were competitive, and everybody else made up the numbers.
Right.
Now you're looking across the combined possible 16 teams in the country playing rugby league. You've got 6, 7 real competitive teams. I mean, we showed that going over to England with a team last year, losing one game by a try and a converted penalty, and then tying a second game against teams in England. I mean, these kids have been playing since they were 8, 9 years old. So.
Absolutely. What Tomo was talking about is a tour to England that we did last year, set up by Tomo and myself. We went over to England, played 2 games of footy. Great experience for the boys. And now he's back here again in America. 2012 season's coming up. What are your goals for the upcoming year?
Building on last year with the Sharks, we started off well, kind of fell off at the end. People realised how tough it was when we came up against one of the real competitive teams. They've got a good club up in New York. They've got a good team, and they're setting a standard, and they're setting a very high standard. So if I can bridge the gap 50% from where we were last year to them, and get that 50% and be competitive with them instead of just being a team, then I'll be happy with that this year with some of the lads we got, because there's some raw talent in there, and they just need pushing in the right direction.
Right. Now you've been very instrumental in the growth of rugby league in the Bucks County area. Since you've been here, we've gone from the New Jersey Sharks to the Bucks County Sharks. You've been very integral in getting a lot of rugby league out in the area. What do you want to do for this year? I mean, what are your plans? What are your goals from this year and going forward with rugby league in Bucks County?
My ultimate aim is to be able to sit down when I'm 60 years old and watch rugby league on ESPN.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, there's no reason why it can't happen.
Right.
But what I would like to do, I mean, we could be here all day with some of the ideas in my head, but with these young kids, I want to find a link between our team and a high school team, and then try and build it from there. So the youth does have somewhere to at least start. Even though it's at 16 to 18 years old, it's something that this country's never seen before, is a under-18s team. That would be awesome if we could get at least 3 teams from the Bucks County area in a high school level playing each other. It's a start.
Right. Tomo here has a very, very unique ability. He's wearing the number 3 for the Sharks. He's wearing a number 11 for the Sharks. He's wearing a number 13 for the Sharks. He's wearing the 6 and the 7 for the Sharks. Where do you see yourself? What number jersey do you see yourself wearing this year, 2012?
Depending on what personnel we can bring in, if we can bring in a good 6. I mean, ultimately I'm not a 6. I mean, I'm just kind of square peg, round hole kind of a thing with that one. My favourite position's always been second row. I'd love to be a second row, but you need a strong centre, somebody who can tackle. You just can't leave that hole open wide. So I guess I'm going to see myself back in the 3 or the 4 position, but I'd love to have these players that we could bring in, and then I could ultimately get back into the middle of the pack again for the twilight of my career.
Absolutely. Steve Tomo, co-coach, good friend of mine, very, very integral part of rugby league in the Bucks County area. Looking forward to playing footy with you again this year in 2012.
Thanks, Phil.